posting into the group. We'll just give it a second once it goes. Okay.
Hi there, I'm Isan Ali, sure, and you're watching me on YouTube, Facebook Live, and also in the group Love Virus. And today we are going to talk about human compassion, love, true love, in a world full of business economics. They
Good.
have business and economics have their importance. They have their significance. And I'm not denying the fact, and I make my videos are mostly about business and economics. But love and human compassion, true love, is also important. It is important for the peace of our mind. Okay. And now I think I should go back to my guest, and my guest is Gary Murk.
Good evening. And as I've been
Hi,
introduced, my name is
hi,
Gary.
Gary.
Hey, how's it going? Yep.
I'm good. How are
Edmonton,
you?
Alberta, and wow, in a
Hmm.
nice warm part of the world, I believe, right? You're in Dubai.
Yes,
Or we're
yes,
coming
I
from
was.
Dubai and we're coming from Edmonton. Wow.
Yes. So, how are you?
Right now it's minus 27 Celsius outside, so I'm glad to be inside, and that's why I had a
Mhm,
little bit of the scarf to keep me warm. But other than that, the coldness on the outside, I got lots of warmth on the inside because we'll talk a little bit about love and this place that
mhm,
I'm at where I'm coming live from,
mhm,
and I think that's I've been working on this altar. So excuse me while I clean this glue off my glasses, and
okay.
one of the things over here at Clarity, where I am, is
Mhm,
that it's not just a tea house. It's
mhm,
a place where we do energy work and we do healing work and we do the work of love in many ways.
mhm. Yes.
And I think this should be better. There we go. Much
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
So,
So, w- it is very important to. I wanted to say something that we spend our whole lives running after business accounts and finances, and they have their importance. And it is very you have to manage your accounts, and they give us stability to your life, to your family, and the society in which you will live in.
mhm.
But we provide stability to our life at the cost uh, of the peace of our mind. And when our goals are achieved, our business accounts and marketing, or when our finally goals are achieved, then we find ourselves very close to our next destination, and that is death. So, is there a way to live a balanced life with with love and with materialism, the materialistic life that is going around us or that we are living in?
Hmm.
Mm.
That's that's a double ought question. And
Okay.
what I mean by that is
Hmm.
what have we been taught to life, to the moment in life right now, the way we've been
Hmm.
taught to manage money and buy things and have material
Hmm.
and this wealth and this abundance. But
Hmm.
what is missing is
Hmm.
how can we have this, as you said, with balance, with a spiritual way of life that is about love.
Hmm.
And where I come from my perspective, is
Hmm.
love. First off, is we have to understand what love is.
Hmm.
What is the meaning behind love?
Hmm.
In a world as we know right now, it's all upside down. Okay,
Hmm.
there's all sorts of things we can go and talk about, but those are the rabbit holes.
Hmm.
This essence of love that has been misplaced and lost. In many
Hmm.
ways, we have been taught what we own, we buy, possessions, money attracts wealth, attracts beauty, and
Hmm.
lifestyle. But
Hmm.
what is lifestyle? Life
Hmm.
for me is this living in frequent evolution, for one.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
love is letting others voluntarily evolve.
Mhm.
The combination of these two things or two elements is
Mhm.
that in order to love, I have to love myself first. I
Mhm.
can't just love money and material and fashion and all of the luxuries of life, so to speak. I have
Mhm.
to love me. It means that
Mhm.
love of self allows me to have respect, allows me to have presence, allows me to have courtesy. So,
Mhm.
how does that work with balance of this economic world that we're in and the way that it functions to date? Well,
Mhm.
we have to find this balance first off from self, our
Mhm.
spirituality, how we believe. It doesn't matter
Mhm.
what you believe in the
Mhm.
sense that as long as you believe that one off, there's a higher power. And
Mhm.
having a higher power allows us to return to source.
Mhm.
We pray to gods. We pray
Mhm.
to spirituality. We follow spiritual movements. We
Mhm.
follow religions. And then we have the other side of it, the politics, the governments, the policies,
Mhm.
where we work, and how much money I make. So
Mhm.
where do we find balance is the question.
Mhm. It's a very
Where
important question.
Yes, I'm just getting up right now. I can see I got the YouTube. I'm just pulling up Facebook to see if anybody is, and now they're joining in. That's
Yes,
good.
yes. We have
Okay,
got few
so
comments and
that's good.
Mhm.
And in one of this at my age, what
Okay.
I've learned in life, and I'm almost 60 years old. Soon I'll be 60
Mhm.
years old this year, and
Okay.
I look
You
back at
look
it.
very
What have I
young.
learned? And
You look
what I've
good.
learned is the most important part
Mhm.
is living in the moment. In
Mhm.
order for me to have open eyes and see where I am, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. Is
Mhm.
wealth important to me?
Mhm.
Everybody's got a different perspective on what wealth is. Wealth is if I can have food on my table, a roof over my head, and a bed to sleep in, I have a basis of feeling well with myself. That's
Mhm.
part of wealth, what I've accumulated as the materials around me.
Mhm.
Going forward is how do I ensure that as I age more, do I have enough in wealth gathered to make
Mhm.
sure that I live a good life after I've worked for 60 years? But I'm still working.
You, you're right. Let me say something here.
Yes.
Apologies for interrupting you. And what is the meaning of the wealth or the things that you have accumulated in your life when you have no time to enjoy it, when you
Hmm.
got no time finally?
Hmm. Wow.
Mhm.
Now, that's a good question.
Mhm.
If I look at where I am at 60 years
Mhm.
old, I should be living a comfortable life after I've
Mhm.
worked for 60 years. Sometimes life experiences bring things in effect that this accumulation that we may have had of wealth has
Mhm.
changed.
Mhm.
Life experiences has changed.
Mhm.
So at my age, I still find myself not working for accumulation,
Mhm.
but what I do as work, it has love involved. So
Mhm.
I'm enjoying what I'm doing as I'm gaining, yes, some wealth in a way to have a comfortable way of life. And
Mhm.
what is comfortable to me is different for everybody. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm comfortable in a space where I have a little bit of room, I have some plants, I have food on the table, I have a roof, I have, a beautiful garden space, I can grow my own foods, and I can
Mhm.
enjoy when I step out the door, even if I'm leaving my home to go to where I am, as an example, where I am right now. I'm at
Mhm.
Clarity's, a tea house, where I practice many things:
Mhm.
aromatherapy, phytotherapy, energy therapies, and many, many, many things surrounding an essence of love that is very wide. In a
Mhm.
sense, for me to explain this more in detail, is one off love of Earth, Mother Earth.
Mhm.
I work with the elements of the earth. I work
Mhm.
with her essences, her gifts of life.
Mhm.
Aromas, beautiful,
Mhm.
beautiful, magical essential oils and attars that have
Mhm.
existed for thousands of
Oh,
years.
okay, what is the pronunciation of your field? Photo or
What I
uh,
do as a title is called a
uh-huh.
phytoaromacologist. It's a
Okay,
trinity of
phytoaroma
cologist. Three
college.
elements:
Mhm.
phytotherapy, meaning the essences of the plant world.
Mhm.
Earthware. It can be clays. It can be seaweeds. It can be flowers. It can be woods. This is the phyto element, where we get phyto elements and phytonutrients. Then
Mhm.
aroma therapy, which is smell. How
Mhm.
does that tree smell? How does a
Mhm.
flower smell?
Mhm.
How does another human smell? The essence
Mhm.
of aroma.
Mhm.
Aromacology is
Mhm.
this a balance upon how does aroma and phytonutrients affect
Mhm.
body, mind, and spirit,
And so,
or body, mind, and soul. So
mhm.
phytoaromacologist.
Geologist. And it's a new term for me. And when you told me the first time, oh, you today, and I was surprised, and I wanted to learn more about phytoaromacologist.
It is something. See, we have phytotherapists, we have
Mhm.
aromatherapists. The aromatherapist functions on the science of how does this aroma blend with another aroma, the essential oils, their medicinal values, and a pure science behind it. Phytotherapy is the applied applications of aroma and
Mhm.
phytonutrients that we can use in a therapeutical approach towards body, yes, mind,
Mhm.
of course, and yes, spirit. The
Mhm.
aromacology is something new in the sense that it's a stem off from the SSI Institute in the early 2000s, in around there, where it's
Mhm.
based on the perfume industry. In the
Mhm.
perfume industry, how does perfume work? Okay,
Mhm.
so
And that's where I think the word aroma came from.
yes, the entire perfume world is started out with plants.
Mhm.
It's very old. It's old world alchemy. It goes
Mhm.
back to the Knights of the Arabian Nights. It goes back to Cleopatra. It goes way back in history.
Mhm.
The science of perfumery, in the way that it evolved, took it to how can we make it more mass consumer available. So
Mhm.
the synthetic perfumes came about. But as we're developing synthetic perfumes over the years, there's controversy. There's things to be made aware of when we're wearing something that's a synthetic perfume. Many people are allergic to, or sensitive to these chemicals that are found in something that smells beautiful, but it's not real.
Mhm.
If I give you the essence of Moroccan rose,
Mhm.
pure, or
Mhm.
jasmine sambac,
Mhm.
and you smell this, not only do you have a smell, you have a feeling, you have an emotion that is ignited.
Mhm.
This can only be achieved by nature. The natural elements of flowers, of trees, of the sea air, of what we breathe. It's part of what
Mhm.
we as humans have as
Mhm.
senses, this
Mhm.
sensorial aspect to smell.
Mhm.
So,
But it provides. We have a comment here that it is a perfume is a headache for some people.
yes,
It get it. Yes.
of course. The
Mhm.
synthetic perfumes, if I go into an elevator and you have a
Mhm.
synthetic perfume on, I get nauseous. I
Yes.
can smell the chemicals.
Mhm.
And there's a more to a story of this, and I'm very, very passionate about nature for good reason. I've
Mhm.
worked with these essences for close to 20 years. I've learned so much from them. And I'm
Mhm.
still learning the magic of this beautiful planet that we walk upon.
mhm,
When I smell the essence of a true rose,
mhm.
I don't get a headache. I get
Yes,
emotional.
yes.
My heart feels.
Mhm,
My
mhm.
spirit
Because
feels.
mhm. Because it doesn't involve chemicals in it.
Exactly. Take a
Mhm,
natural, take any one of these commercial perfumes, take
mhm,
one drop, put it on your car hood, and leave it in
mhm,
the sun for 8 hours. And
mhm,
watch what it will do to the clear coat.
mhm,
It will actually damage the clear coat that is a protective coating on your car to withstand the elements of the sun. Now we
mhm.
put this on our skin. And
Yes.
many people apply it direct, particularly women. And this is where a lot of danger comes forward. Is
Mhm,
that women are applying perfume to the glandular structure right up here, the thyroid, the hymen, all of the glandular structure that keeps them in balance emotionally,
mhm,
physically, and in many
mhm,
other elements as well, including spirit. So
mhm,
here's a true story. My
mhm,
mother died of a cancer, and she died of a cancer that grew in this area of the neck to the size of a football.
mhm,
She applied perfumes, these unnatural perfumes, directly to
mhm,
her skin.
mhm,
The chemicals that are found in these perfumes are attributed as a neurotoxin, cancer causing, and many more.
mhm,
So, why are we putting it on our skin? In
mhm. It's
the
a very
old
important
world,
question.
yeah, why?
Yeah,
Why do you need
yeah.
to smell like a bunch of chemicals?
Mhm.
Honestly,
I think
and
it's all about the marketing and advertisement. Those company manipulate our minds.
yes, yes, very much so. In fact,
Mhm,
marketing has made us believe that it's good to smell like the latest and greatest perfume, but yet
mhm,
it affects many people. Okay,
mhm,
the synthetics found in these chemicals and these perfumes, okay, are make people sick, make them sensitive, nauseous. I get a headache. I get migraines if I smell these commercial perfumes for too long. And
mhm,
I used to wear a lot in many years ago, different style of life. Okay, I
yeah.
was working in the IT industry, in the financial industry, supporting the
Okay.
financial markets. So
Mhm. We
perfume
we
was,
have we have got a comment here, and it said, "I guess most people are ignoring the side effects of perfumes," and I think it is right that when we see the commercial and advertisement on TV, and they only show us the picture of one side, they don't tell
mm-hmm,
us what the other side, and that's what happens, that's how people ignores and avoid the side effects and the
yes,
negative effects of perfumes and chemicals, and
yes,
that's why they are destroying and damaging the ozone layer and mother
oh,
nature.
you when we look at what affects our
Mhm,
environment,
mhm,
somebody would say, well, I'm just spraying a perfume on. Okay,
mhm,
you're one person spraying perfume.
mhm,
If there's 1 billion people spraying perfume, it becomes
mhm.
an airborne contaminant. It
Yes.
traverses with the winds. It is
Mhm,
picked up with other molecular structures within the winds that adhere or and as an adhesion bring all of these chemical particles together that directly affect the ozone. So it's not just
mhm,
carbon dioxide coming from cars, it's not just what's coming from the factories. It is everything that we as a race of humans have been
mhm,
doing. The things that the science is not going to tell you this. The government is not going to tell you this. They're going to say it's safe to have this amount of toxicity in a product to this point. You can't pass that point, and as
mhm,
long as you don't pass that point, you can still make that product and sell it. That's
mhm,
wrong. So
mhm,
marketing shows a beautiful picture, shows a
mhm,
beautiful man or a beautiful woman that is all about you're seeing beauty and how
mhm,
they are. emotionally putting on a perfume or clothing or whatever, and bingo, it's a
Mhm.
marketing subliminal message that says, well, the world wants me to smell good. The world wants
Mhm.
me to dress good. So
Mhm.
what am I doing? I'm going
Mhm.
out and spending my money on synthetics. I'm spending my money on products that at the source are a problem that's affecting our environment.
Mhm.
Whether it's perfume, whether it's paper, whether it's toilet paper, whether it's clothing. The
Mhm.
source of many of our products that we
Mhm.
buy have a direct impact at the very source of life, this
Yes.
earth. It affects
Mhm.
water, air, everything. And now
Yes.
look at generations. As
And one more thing, it also impacts our health, our body, and the way we live life.
very much so.
Yes.
If ask any user, any person,
Mhm.
okay, how much money you spent on perfume in the last 5 years.
Mhm.
Now, if you knew that you could maybe know a little bit of old world alchemy that allows you to create an essence out of elements that you can grow
Mhm.
and find that it is healthier for you,
Mhm.
what's a better choice? Something that
Mhm.
I can grow and can take care of and give love to, or
Mhm.
something that I buy that doesn't care, doesn't have love, and is only about money?
Mhm.
This is the end result of where that product is going. The company who has manufactured it has
Mhm.
created an image.
Mhm.
You believe in that image, you buy
Mhm.
that product.
Mhm.
But what about the ethics of that company? What about the
Mhm.
source of the production of that product? Does it have a
Mhm.
direct impact to you and me in our
Mhm.
health, to the
Mhm.
earth,
Mhm.
and everything else that's around us that's alive? Because it's, it affects, if it affects me or you
Mhm.
or the garden, it also affects the bees, the butterflies, the aves, the animals, the
Mhm.
mammals, and so on.
The insects. Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah,
what?
there's one thing I would like to say here, that the things we use and the things we accumulate, they have an impact on our character, on our thoughts, on our body. Don't you agree?
Hmm. Yes,
Mhm.
very much so.
Mhm.
If let's look at something simple,
Okay.
very, very, very simple.
Okay.
Toilet paper.
Mhm.
And I talk. It's going to be a little bit funny in a way,
Mhm.
because let's look at it in from a North American perspective. The amount of toilet paper that
Mhm.
is consumed on a day-to-day basis.
Mhm.
What is the source?
Mhm.
Trees.
Yes.
Where is it being disposed of? Water, treatment plants, and
Mhm.
then offset into the waterways. But the
Mhm.
waterway has already been damaged by the processing of this cushy toilet paper, so
Mhm.
that we can have some comfort to sit on the toilet and do what we need to do.
Mhm.
So, what is the difference if we were to maybe go back to a little bit of old world wisdom? A
Mhm.
bidet, okay, as an example, or a bidet, which is widely used in many other parts of the world, that is a little bit of water, washes, and you're done.
Mhm. We have a comment here, and
Yes.
someone is asking, where can we buy a bidet?
Online, as an
Yes.
example, you can buy them
Okay.
Amazon. You can find them at the local hardware stores, like here in Edmonton, and then in many parts in Canada. You can find them at the home, what we call the Home Depots,
Mhm.
Rona's, any hardware store, or any, even some of the plumbing stores are now selling them. So you
Mhm.
can get some very basic ones that
Mhm.
are around, in Canadian dollars, $50 to $60, and you can
Mhm.
get some luxury ones that got the air and the heated seat, and
Mhm.
you can get them pretty fancy. Okay,
Mhm.
but if you don't want to use Amazon, or
Mhm.
any of these online places, I can send you up. Well, I'll post some links at the end of this where you can
Mhm.
buy directly online from a company
Mm-hmm.
called Tushy,
Mm-hmm.
Tushy. So if you
Okay.
Google that, you'll find out you can buy directly on their website. So you can buy
Mm-hmm.
direct from them. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
blame you. I just saw a comment that said, come up, don't want to support Amazon.
Okay, there's
Hey,
one more comment. You
oh
check it
God,
out.
look at that.
Read
Yeah,
this
the
comment.
comments are, there's quite a few
Yeah.
comments coming in. I'm trying to keep, okay. Is of you clean with water and boot. Definitely. See, here's it's old world knowledge, people. Hey, North
Mm-hmm.
Americans, listen to this. Old world knowledge. In
Mm-hmm.
many Arabic countries around the world, and many of the old countries,
Mm-hmm.
there's no toilet paper. You use water, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
A little splash and off you go.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple. Now, this is where we can get if I can get half the other world waking up on this one, can you imagine how many trees we can save?
Mm-hmm.
And I get very sensitive when I talk about trees, mainly
Okay.
because I work with nature. I work with the elements. I work with extracts of trees, pine trees, Sylvester pine, black spruce, and
Mm-hmm.
some very, 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 very sacred trees, Palo Santo, agarwood, and others. But in a
Mm-hmm.
majority of our paper consummation industry, we're taking down what we say is a fast growth tree when it's not. Old
Mm-hmm.
growth trees and forests are more than just a tree.
Mm-hmm.
When we take that whole forest and clear cut it down, we have not just destroyed a tree for toilet
Mm-hmm.
paper, we
Mm-hmm.
have destroyed other medicines. There is mosses, there are mushrooms, there are
Mm-hmm.
flowers and herbs and other species of plants that
Mm-hmm.
all are part of our ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a tree.
Okay. Read this comment on the screen. Gary.
Yes, I like washing with water and drying with toilet paper though. I hate wet nick. Ah, well, tell you what, maybe instead of toilet paper, why not
Uh-huh.
have a nice micro rag? Something nice and
Uh-huh.
soft that, you can wash rather than
Uh-huh.
again support paper. In fact,
Okay.
if you come to my place, there's a
Uh-huh.
bidet, there is no
Uh-huh.
toilet paper, there is a tissue that is a
Uh-huh.
nice soft cloth that's
Uh-huh.
reserved for guests, and there is
Uh-huh.
one that I have for myself.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, I think we have got a little distracted
yes, just a
from
little
our
bit off the
topic
toilet
about.
paper from
Uh,
love
uh,
and economics.
yes, come on. I think we should go back to our topic, get back to our
Yes,
topic about love
yes,
and compassion, about true
yes,
love in a world of business.
yes. You know, I have two sides.
Mhm,
One for 20 years of working on a very, very deeper side of spiritual connection, but
mhm,
also in a career in the IT industry where I worked in the financial sector in direct support of the stock markets, the stock exchanges, the trade floors, and I went to many of the different places around the world, New York,
mhm,
Montreal, Paris, and others. Okay,
mhm,
supporting business, money,
mhm,
the money
mhm,
market, the core
mhm,
of money market. So you see what the company does with their stock and where the stock goes and who's investing, who's buying, who's selling. And I'm
yeah,
basically was the support person to make sure those networks worked. So
to the
I see
corporations.
both sides. I
Mhm,
see a world of material and money,
mhm,
and then I see a world of what's missing:
mhm,
love, compassion,
mhm,
and the question is for many is what is love and compassion?
mhm. I think
We
if you ask those corporations, you talk about business, then the only thing they're concerned is profit and money. That's it.
Yep,
Mhm,
truly. They're at the end of the day, the world of consumerism is all about buy and sell, profit,
yes. Mhm,
demand, supply
mhm,
and demand. But
mhm.
what about the supply and demand of love and compassion?
And also the thing is, human emotions and human compassion, love is irrelevant to the businesses.
Yeah. And that's where my perspective is a little bit different. And it
Okay.
always has been. In fact, I've been in the career of the IT professional side, I'm in customer service. So I'm in a buy and sell environment. I am selling service to a customer. And what is the basis of my relationship with that customer? Well, anybody can sell a deliverable, anybody. But can you sell an outcome? An outcome means that I have created a memory and a relationship with that client based upon trust, confidence, and yes, the ability to do the job that needs to be done or sell the product. After leaving that industry and then coming into the world of naturals and natural skincare and owning a skincare company and owning a spa that treated people with, yes, products that were created right in-house. We designed it to be created by passion and compassion. When you walked into our spa, you were greeted as the person you were. You were not seen as a commodity. We use the elements of nature to beautify your skin, help heal your body. We use the power of EMF frequencies, which is electromagnetic pulsed frequency, to, yes, help heal the body. But the difference was is that we sold an outcome based upon cost, customer service, and value for your money. Something that is not here today. The Amazons, there's no such thing. The Walmarts, there's no such thing. The superstores, there's no such thing. But there is
So
small local businesses.
you provide and you offer organic products
Yes.
without destroying the nature.
If okay, first off, what is an organic product today? That's where it's a little bit is it really truly 100% organic? No. No, it's not, because we're in a world that is not 100% organic. So even if the crop that I'm dealing with is guaranteed to be ethically produced to create an element, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have a potential of a possible contamination, even if it's minute, even if it's just a couple of little molecules. Okay, so what is organic? It's the same thing as what is natural. Well, it's quite simple. The roots are still on the ground. It hasn't been touched by man. It hasn't been modified. It hasn't been turned into a product. It is roots in the ground in a natural, wild landscape. That's organic and that is natural. Now, how do we sell that today? Well, look at what has happened with marketing. The uprise of the problems with Johnson's and Johnson's and companies and lawsuits based upon products being sold that contain poison known to have right from the very start. So the uprise of this organic movement, natural movement, is like natural is better, organic is better than, the out ladder. Yes.
And as you said, how are you going to sell your product? I think it is to the way it has always been is to manipulate the minds of people, or there is something else.
Yes, there is something. From my
Okay.
perspective, in the way that I deal with products one on one, I'm not going to just tell you a couple of words. I'm going to have you smell it. Your spirit's going to tell you the difference between what I am saying afterwards. Because now you will see
And
that you've smelt purity. You've smelt
okay,
truth.
but there's a comment here, and you can see it on the screen. Then a lot of people can't afford the organic product. There is also the negative side, or the cost of organic products is a bit higher than the synthetic product.
And that's a mistruth. That's a
Mhm,
marketing mistruth.
mhm,
The amount of manpower that is needed to produce an organic product, time
mhm,
wise, in a one on one situation. So if I was growing a crop, the amount of
mhm,
time that I was putting into it is the equivalence of a mass production doing the
mhm,
same thing. Does it justify a higher value because we're saying it's a cleaner product? I think no. I think in the sense is that if we were truthful and transparent, we can
Mhm,
justify certain prices based upon what does it cost to bring this product to marketplace. But in
mhm,
many cases, we're using this greenwashing to say, well, my product is natural, my product is organic, to sell it more expensive. It's the
mhm,
same thing as in the skincare industry. We look at a product that's sold for $20, a cream at
mhm,
15 ml, and now I look at another cream being sold for $500 because it has some science in it.
mhm,
It's a buyer's world in a sense because this is the way that the market is driven. It's driven by money. We're in a consumer world. Okay, it's all
mhm.
by
The
buy
world of
products, buy this, and
consumerism.
then
The world of consumerism.
yes. See, there is an advantage with a good natural product or organic product, or just let's say a good clean product.
Mhm,
Let's forget about natural. Let's forget about organic. Let's
mhm,
go at a clean product, meaning that I know in my product being sold, there are no chemicals that
mhm,
can affect your health,
mhm,
even to the most minute detail.
mhm,
So if I can be transparent and I can guarantee that in my product, there is none of these known chemicals out of the 1,500 cosmeceutical ingredients that are
mhm,
found in today's personal care products, there
mhm,
are 80% of them are a potential threat, even at a very small detail. And
mhm.
somebody will
We
say,
have got
well,
a
yeah,
we have got a comment here. Read it.
for an example, cherry tomatoes are much cheaper than organic, so ultimately the person's very initial will be higher per week. Some families can't afford it.
Mhm,
Yes, okay, but what if you grew your own cherry tomatoes?
mhm,
If you can buy an organic product, you can also grow your own. It takes a little
mhm,
bit of time, but how much time did it take? You can go stand in the
mhm,
line at the supermarket, or you can turn around and maybe put a little bit of time into growing your own. The
mhm,
difference is that we are being programmed to always have an abundance of all of the access to fresh fruits and fresh vegetables and all of the foodstuffs that
mhm,
we find in a superstore or in a
mhm,
supermarket, where in the natural flow of the human body, the way we are and the function of our environment, there are certain foods that we eat at certain seasons.
mhm,
If we want to boost our immunity, we are
mhm,
looking at the end of the cultivation season to make sure that we have, certain spices, certain,
mhm,
root vegetables. All of this is being put into the pantries because this is what our natural instinct is. But now we've gotten spoiled by getting a fresh strawberry when it's minus 27 degrees outside because I can go to the supermarket and buy a
mhm.
organic strawberry that's growing
And
in.
we have also got a comment here
Yeah,
that not everyone has the weather or the space to grow enough tomatoes for a family, and it's a very good one.
true, true. There's some common sense in this
Mhm,
approach as well. If,
mhm,
if you have a balcony, you can
mhm,
grow a fair amount of food in
mhm,
that balcony. In fact,
mhm,
there are many systems that exist to grow microgreens,
mhm,
micro little fruit elements that you can do in a
mhm,
very small space. It takes an
mhm,
investment. So if I could
mhm,
say within 60 square feet, you could grow food to help
mhm,
offset
mhm,
natural nutrients that are immunity boosting,
mhm,
okay? Well, you got 60 square feet or maybe 30 square feet. You have a windowsill that you can grow microgreens on. Okay, we're not getting tomatoes. You've gotten used to
mhm,
tomatoes. It's a
mhm,
choice that we make. If you
mhm,
decide that I want tomatoes in the middle of December and I want to go to the store and get just some tomatoes, then by all
mhm,
means.
mhm,
But in the old world alchemy, we would have tomatoes from the growing season, we would can our tomatoes, and have a readily supply during the colder season or the non-growing season of canned
mhm,
vegetables and fruits.
mhm,
But we got used to buying a peach all the
mhm,
year round.
mhm,
So where is this ability to have a good economical growth and
mhm,
be economically sound in the way that we're working, spending our money, investing our money, so that, as you said earlier on, we come to a certain point in life that I can sit back and now enjoy the things that I've accumulated. Well,
yes,
I
and
enjoy
I think
my
we have
canned
also.
fruits.
I think it's the second time we are
Yeah.
got off our track from love and human compassion
Oh, yeah,
to the world
we've
of
gone down the whole other side gamut.
yes, about consumerism and the world of consumerism. And
Yeah.
you're right. And because the world we live in, all of these things, the world of consumerism, organic products, the tissues and tomatoes, all of these things, they play a huge role,
Hmm.
and we need them all the time.
Yes.
But on the other hand, for the peace of our mind, for the peace of our soul, we need love and human compassion. And
Mm,
not to ourselves, but also to the mother nature and towards the people around us.
very much so. Eh,
Yes.
If we do not
Mhm,
embrace love of self for one,
mhm,
how can we
mhm,
have love for another?
mhm,
If we do not embrace this love for our planet, how can
mhm,
we care for her to make sure that it's there for our children for tomorrow?
mhm,
This love and compassion
mhm,
is, it's a free, it's willingly. It's not
mhm,
something that is obligated for us to have, but it is
mhm,
necessary for us to grow.
mhm.
Love
Read a
is,
comment here.
I don't have the patience to grow things. I'm not green fingered at all. My grandfather said it like this:
Mhm,
no matter how many times you have tried something and failed, try
mhm,
again.
mhm,
If you don't have the patience,
mhm,
try again.
mhm.
It's a matter of perspective.
Yes,
If
indeed.
I lose patience, which happens, I mean, we're all human, right?
Mhm,
If I lose patience in something, uh, I own my emotion. I
mhm,
also own the reaction of my loss
mhm,
of patience.
mhm.
This is part of love and self respect.
I
In
think
order,
that patience is also a very important part of love. That you have to be patient to love, and if uh, towards humanity, your patience is the key towards is the first step towards love.
yes, yeah, of
Mhm,
course. I say many things in many of my lives. I talk about this essence of love. Love
mhm,
has no boundaries, it
mhm,
has no sight of color, creed,
mhm,
language, belief.
mhm.
So, in other words,
And
this
it is
essence
the
of
love.
love is,
It is
pardon?
the love it is the love that has brought us here together on this
Very
day.
much.
Yes,
Yes, you and me have connected because one of
because
we both know Jesse Hall, beautiful
yes,
guy.
yes,
Okay, and you also, from what I've seen and seeing what you're doing, you're also shedding, sharing this beautiful wisdom and helping others and that try to achieve certain things in life. You also understand that we need love.
yes,
And so, how do we tell the rest of the world, where half of the world is only thinking about, their ego and what they can own and they buy, and the other
mhm,
half of the world is in doubt about love and compassion?
mhm,
We're in a world right now where we're, what do we believe? Who do we believe?
mhm, mhm,
Okay, but isn't it the best is to believe self? One,
mhm,
isn't it the best that I wake up in the morning and I look at myself and I accept myself for who I am, the person
mhm,
that I've become, not for my mistake that I made for yesterday, but what did I learn from my mistake from yesterday in order that I can be a better person for today? I
mhm,
go about in a masked world, no mask. I don't. wear a mask. I
Mhm.
have freedom,
Mhm.
and I embrace my choice and common sense. I have
Mhm.
respect for others. If you don't want to keep within a close distance, by all means. But if you
Mhm.
want a hug, I'll give you a
Mhm.
hug.
Mhm.
I'll offer you a hug. I'll offer you a
Mhm.
handshake
Mhm.
because I don't let fear consume me.
Mhm.
I believe in love,
Mhm.
in everything. Love of what I do, what I create, what I work with,
Mhm.
the people that I greet, even
Mhm.
love of my mistakes that I made from yesterday's. It's taught me something. It has taught
Mhm.
me to make better choices,
Mhm.
to be more kinder, to
Mhm.
have more patience, to have more
We have
understanding.
we have got a
If I,
very important question here, that how can someone change and be more patient?
you know what, that one word,
Mhm.
breathe,
Yes.
breathe.
Mhm.
It,
Mhm.
when you don't have patience, put your hand onto your heart. What's
Mhm.
happening? Your heart
Mhm.
rate's increased. Your
Mhm.
breathing is increased. You're
Mhm.
more hyperventilating because now you're going into a tizzy fit. You know,
Mhm.
you're frustrated. Step
Mhm.
back, breathe, reflect. Why
Mhm.
am I not having patience?
Mhm.
Is it because I'm waiting for somebody? Maybe something
Mhm.
happened to them. Maybe
Mhm.
I should have not patience. I should have more concern as to why that person hasn't arrived, rather
Mhm.
than
I,
they walk in the
I,
door and say, "Where have you been?"
mhm.
Uh,
I would like to say here that only one thought that you have in the morning can change your day, can change your whole day. Only one thought and one decision can change your life.
yeah. One
Mhm.
thought.
Mhm.
I look in the mirror and I say, "Good morning"
Mhm.
to myself.
Mhm.
It's the best way to greet myself
Mhm.
starting out my day. It sets my intent. So if I can welcome myself when I wake, I can walk out into the world and be more welcoming of others around me
Mhm.
and know the difference of what I need to interact with, what I need to engage with, and what I
Mhm.
need to not engage with.
Mhm.
You and I choose this essence of love. And I
Mhm.
believe that this is why we've connected.
Mhm.
We look at a world and see that love can change many things. It
Yes.
can heal. It
Mhm.
can, it's magical when it's
Mhm.
truly given with free of heart and free of willingness. It means I'm willing to love you for who you
Mhm.
are, or I'm willing to love what I'm doing for what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Not just I do this for you, I love you, and you have to say I love me, or I love
Mhm.
this and I'm waiting for it to say I love you as well. It doesn't work
Mhm.
that way.
Mhm. And there's one thing I would like to add here, that the love, why there has to be a very high cost for love.
Hmm.
Why can't just we love ourselves and love our community, love our people, and love Mother Nature just for the sake of love?
Why?
Yeah.
Because we've been programmed to see it
Mhm.
otherwise.
Mhm.
I work to help people unprogram that that
Mhm.
programmation. I
Mhm.
work with people one on one. I work with myself every day to not allow the system that is broken take me away from truth of spirit and truth
Mhm.
of compassion and truth of love for fellow human beings.
Mhm.
Not hard.
Mhm.
In fact, it is the most simplest aspect of being a human.
Mhm.
But we've allowed this computer to be
Mhm.
programmed to see separations, to you're masked and I'm not masked, you're vaccinated and not vaccinated, your color
Mhm.
and my color, your world and my world, your country
You
and
are
my
wearing,
country.
just like you are
Sorry?
wearing mask. I'm not. You are wearing mask and I'm not wearing mask. That's how I think it's a contrast, the comparison that we are told and we have been manipulated to judge other people.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh,
Yes.
God, it's a sandbox syndrome.
Mhm,
I explain it like this: a
mhm,
sandbox syndrome. We, as
mhm,
children, we
mhm,
had, let's say we were four, you, me,
mhm,
and two other boys playing in the sandbox. One of them
mhm,
was Oriental and one was from South Africa. Okay,
mhm.
you're from your part of the world and I'm from here from Edmonton, and we're
Okay.
playing in a sandbox.
Mhm,
Every day as children, we've been playing and laughing and smiling and playing jokes on each other and building castles. And then we
mhm,
go home, or I go home. I'll be the one that is the culprit here. And I go home,
mhm,
and my father says, "Well, what did you do today?"
mhm,
Well, I was playing with Joe, and I was playing with Joseph, and I was playing with Yali, and we were having fun in the sandbox. And my father
mhm,
says, "Well, isn't Joe that darker skinned boy?
mhm,
Ew, isn't he kind of
mhm.
dirty?" So
Yes.
you can see where the programmation is coming in.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
now, as a boy, child, my friend, I go back to my sandbox the following day,
mhm,
playing with my friends. Joe shows up, and I say to Joe, "Well, I'm sorry, Joe, I can't play with you anymore because my father says you're dirty."
mhm,
Joe goes away. I got two
mhm,
other friends. I go
mhm,
home that day. My father asked me the same question. Somewhat the same conversation goes on. I go back to the sandbox to a point in 3 days. I'm the only person in the sandbox,
mhm,
and I'm sad and
mhm,
I'm not happy. I don't want to play in the sandbox anymore. I miss
mhm,
my friends.
mhm,
I miss that love that we had together. I miss
mhm,
the smiles. So I go home. My father says, "So what did you do today, son?"
mhm.
"Not much, Dad." He
I
says, "You
broke
seem to
up
be
with my
sad."
friend. Yeah.
Yeah, and he says, "You seem to be sad." I said, "Yes, I am,
Mhm,
Dad. Can you come play in the sandbox with me? I have nobody
mhm,
to play with anymore."
mhm,
And my father says, "Well, I don't have time, so why don't you just go by and play in the sandbox by yourself?"
mhm,
Can you see what has happened in our world?
mhm,
We have been told that another culture is bad because of whatever the reason.
mhm.
We've been
And
told that indigenous peoples are bad because whatever the reason. I
mhm.
grew
And
up.
I would like to say here the culture. We are also told, and we have been taught that the culture, for instance, in my culture, in the Muslim part of the world, that we are taught that you are the right one, you are the
Mm,
right people, and the whole world is wrong. On the other
mm,
hand, your part of the world is toward the same thing.
mhm. Except
Yes,
there are
and
people like me. Okay,
mhm,
I'm an except.
mhm.
I'm one of the exceptions.
Okay.
Honestly, I could care
Mhm,
less about your color, your creed, your language,
mhm,
or the part of the
mhm,
world that you live in.
mhm,
What I care about is you're a human.
mhm,
You have a heart. You have a culture that I can learn
mhm,
from. I
mhm,
want to know what you
mhm,
do in that part of the world, your
mhm,
foods, your history.
mhm,
I work with elements of the earth that come from
mhm,
all over the world. They show
mhm,
me love and compassion.
mhm,
Gaia, Mother Earth, shows me love and compassion. So, why
mhm,
should I not have love and compassion for the peoples that live in that world that are producing this beautiful essence for me to bring
mhm,
to somebody of my color? And
mhm,
why should I tell them that, you know what, it comes from this world? Oh, I won't buy it because it comes from that part of the world. You know what? Nah, it doesn't work like that with me.
mhm, mhm.
I
It's
see
all the
love in
same.
everything. I
It is.
see love in people.
Mhm. Yeah, it is all the same. We all belong to the single human race, and we may have different cultures, we may have
Hmm.
different languages with different colors, but from inside, we all are the same. We all have fears. We all have insecurities. We all love the compassion for humanity and the challenges we face, and they all are the same.
Absolutely. Your
Mhm,
soul, my
mhm,
soul,
mhm,
your heart, my heart.
mhm,
I am you, you are me. We are all connected, and
mhm,
not just to humans. We're
mhm,
connected to life. Look at where I'm sitting. All the
mhm,
plants that are around me.
mhm,
They, I feel them. They
mhm,
clean the air.
mhm,
They're beautiful to look at. When this tea house is filled with people, they're beautiful to look at. All
mhm,
colors, all creeds, sizes, doesn't matter. You walk in here, I got open arms for you. You cross the
mhm,
street, I have open arms for you. I'm willing to give you help if you ask.
mhm,
You have a belief. I have a
mhm,
belief. What I
mhm,
believe in spirit and what you believe in spirit
mhm,
together is the essence of what spirituality is. If the
mhm,
name of your God is whatever and the name of my God is whatever, isn't what is the most important is that we believe in a higher power, that we
mhm,
understand that we as humans are just little children in a vast universe?
mhm,
You know, and while the world is fighting to, this movement and my movement and holding up this again, I want to be acknowledged.
mhm,
I already acknowledge you. I don't need to know the yesterday's
mhm,
stories or histories because I'm already aware of them. I
mhm,
make the choice today to be a better human. I make the
mhm,
choice today to show kindness. I make the choice today to love you as a human being.
mhm,
But I also make the choice as to how far I'm going to trust you. Trust is not
mhm,
something that I give away. Trust is
mhm,
something that is earned with time. I can
mhm,
love you. I can give
mhm,
you the benefit of the doubt.
mhm,
But to trust you, I need to know you.
mhm.
That's all.
Yeah, I think there's one thing I would like to say here that if we look at the history, human history, and if we look the lives of people around us, then people are dying, people are living. It's the cycle of life that has been going on around us, and it has been going on for ages. And
Hmm.
we see the people doing the same things over and over again. It is they are manipulating other people, they are killing it, they are destroying nature for profit, and
Hmm.
when they achieve their targets, when they think they have accumulated enough, then they'll pass on the wealth, the greed they have accumulated to the next generation, and they
Hmm.
die, and the next generation do the same thing, and they pass on the same thing to the next, and it seems like it's a chain reaction that has been going on, and it has been spreading and increasing at a very high scale.
It's crazy.
Mhm,
If we look at
mhm,
eh,
mhm,
what we are doing to this planet for the riches and
mhm,
for the oils and the
mhm,
golds and the
mhm,
diamonds
mhm,
doesn't make sense.
mhm,
There are more diamonds stored in vaults
mhm,
that are enough to probably pave most of the roadways in the world. There is
mhm,
more gold sitting in government warehouses enough to probably pave the world in the
mhm,
roadways. When
mhm,
we use gold in how it's used to gild, we could probably
mhm,
gild every roadway around the world. For what?
mhm, mhm,
For a trinket. To be
mhm,
honest with you, look, I mean, I have jewelry. I've had gifts that were given to me, of course, but it is not about the gold. It is about the gift
mhm,
and what was behind it. But I'm also aware that as an alchemist,
mhm,
I can create and make gold. I can
mhm,
make diamonds. It's proven alchemy. Do I
mhm,
need to dig holes? Do I need to clear cut parts of the Amazon and destroy the mangroves to get at a gold vein?
mhm,
That doesn't make sense to me. Is it
mhm,
because the Arctic is melting that we allow the governments to allow corporations to now start drilling for oil? Do we
mhm,
know what happens in the Arctic? Have you ever
mhm,
seen the great whales when they sleep in a pod in the
mhm,
Arctic?
mhm,
They sleep vertically
mhm,
and they sing. Their
mhm,
song from that part of the world resonates in a frequency throughout the life of water, throughout all the oceans of the world.
mhm,
These whales, these massive creatures,
mhm,
are singing a song of love and of
mhm,
healing. And we want
mhm,
to go dig for more oil?
mhm,
Why?
mhm,
This is where I get very, very antsy. I am not an environmentalist. I
mhm,
am a realist. I
mhm,
open my eyes wide and I see the impact of what something is doing.
mhm,
If we are going to continue coal mining and we
mhm,
strip a forest away and then we start stripping parts of the mountain away, what are we doing? We're changing the environment because we're altering that mountain that was there, that was part of how the winds flow across the face of this earth.
mhm.
Everything that we disrupt in the landscape of Mother Nature, of this earth, has a direct impact on the
On our life.
environmental wealth and well being to the
Yes,
smallest detail.
yes, indeed. And I think we have discussed, we have covered enough. There are many things to talk about love and about
Mm-hmm.
environment, about consumerism, and
Yes.
how love and human compassion uh, is it has been given a backseat. On the other hand, the profit uh, and uh, and the economics and business and finances is given a front seat. And why we have covered all of those topics, and there's many things to talk about. And I think we should discuss it in the next session. And
I do believe so because we've just opened up Pandora's box, Elsa.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
your knowledge, my knowledge,
hmm,
and the things that we see. And I think what's beautiful between what we as men are showing is we're
hmm,
showing to other men around the world that, you know what,
hmm,
it's okay to be sensitive and vulnerable, and we want to understand more
hmm,
about love, and we
hmm,
want to share more about love.
hmm,
You're halfways around the world. We're
hmm,
covering how many places around the world by showing that as men, we can become sacred masculines and
hmm,
sacred men that can truly stand up and say, you know what? Yes, I am strong, but I'm
hmm,
also vulnerable
hmm,
and I'm sensitive and I have
hmm,
emotion.
hmm,
And it's time to show this because it's part of being a human caretaker for this
hmm,
earth. And so
hmm.
we're just beginning, my friend.
Hmm. We have got a comment here, and
Yes.
you don't think, okay, read it.
You don't think the planet is trying to evolve and be more green, i.e., electric cars, electric solar panels. Okay,
Mhm,
here's a question. How many people know how a solar panel is created?
mhm,
Two elements, high grade quartz and coal, to
mhm,
make a solar panel that lasts maybe 7 years and then we discard it in the deserts. Is it
mhm,
green energy?
mhm,
There's a question in that one, and we can go into a whole other topic. The earth is
mhm,
evolving, yes, naturally. But what we are doing to the earth is altering the natural evolution of this earth. And if we
mhm,
want this earth to continue on supporting life, then we
mhm,
need to change. There is less than 27% natural wild growth left in the world as it is today.
mhm,
27%. How much more are we going to take before the world says enough of us humans?
mhm. Okay. And I think we should, it's been around about more than an hour, and
Yes,
we have discussed many things, and we will discuss in the next week or in the next coming few days. We will discuss some other topics, some other, we will shed light
definitely.
on very interesting questions about love and about human nature, human compassion in the world of consumerism and business and finances. And if you have any question, leave it in the comment box below. I'll answer it to you, and Gary Murk will get back to you as soon as he can. And thank you, and have a good day. For I think it's my morning here, so I'm gonna say good good day, but I think it's night there in your part of the world.
Yeah, the sun has gone down. It's 7 p.m. and
Hmm.
or almost 7, I think. You're after
Okay.
7, just slightly
Yeah,
after 7 p.m.
it's
And
7 a.m. It's 7 a.m. here. So,
so 7 a.m. for you and 7 p.m. for me.
yeah, 12
Halfway
hours.
around the world.
Yes, indeed. And thank you, and see you soon. And thank
Will
you,
do.
Gary,
Yeah, my
Gary, for your
pleasure.
time.
And thanks for everybody for tuning in and looking forward to next week.
Hmm. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you.